Okay, so on a fairly regular basis, you're going to see Loom videos and reports coming from the media buyer that's working on a client account for you. Okay, you need to pay attention to these. All right. So part of your job as a CSR to have a deep understanding of our client service. So I'm going to give you an example of this. Simply, you go to the leads clients, right? And what you'll see on a regular basis is there are comments from the media buyer where they tag you. They actually tag you and they say, hey, so for example, like under monthly analytics reporting, they're going to say, here's the document with my Loom video. You'll also see them tag you and provide this stuff when they do tasks. Like they'll do a 5-minute video when they do media buying tasks. And you'll want to check out that 5-minute video. Just watch their Loom. You'll see here he did a 4-minute Loom. The media buyer provides these short Loom because they're doing an overview and they're talking through it. So you want to go full screen on the Loom like this and watch it all the way through. Okay, and he's going to talk about like the leads coming in, what he's doing on his strategy. Then he generates a report that's actually client facing. Okay, and he should also verify with you that the document is shared with the client for this monthly analytics report. You need to look at this report. You're going to look at it. So now you're going to look at it after you watch the Loom video. So first, watch the Loom video all the way through. Make sure you understand what they are saying in the Loom video. Okay? This is about a 4-minute video. Then you're going to open the report and you're going to read this report. All right? When you read the report, make sure you're looking for, important details. Because note that this has been shared with the client. It says people with access. The client actually isn't here on this. He said that he did, but I'm not seeing it. And anyone with the link, it's set to editor. You want to change that to commenter. Because the client should only have commenting access. Right? And we say done. If we actually look at this, he should be sharing it with his Acceleration Enterprises email only. So we should comment on him. Because I saw it was like a different one. Say only share reports with clients using your Acceleration Enterprises email. Also, please be sure to ask for screenshots, the client email you share it with, and only use comment only sharing with clients. That's it. Right? That's all. We want to make sure. So then you're going to read their reports, okay, and see, there's going to be key highlights, how much they spent. This is also important. They spent last month way less than budget. So you would actually bring this up. I would bring this up with the client, I'd say at Santosh. Last month, we only spent $500 approximately with the client on ads. There is no request from the client to reduce budget at all. Ensure we are spending approximately, I always do approximately because it kind of varies. $1,500 a month is their budget. I just happen to know. You can also look at their budget and goals. $1,500 plus per month. So we are meeting their ad requirements. ASAP, and do not let this happen again. If you have a media buyer that's spending a lot less than what we're supposed to be spending, that really hurts results for the client. And we have to let them know, like, you can't let this happen again, or we have to replace them. We have to replace media buyers who aren't spending what the clients want. If anything, we should be raising budgets and growing accounts. We never shrink an account unless the client comes to us and says, hey, spend less budget. We don't drop off budgets unless it's very temporary, like we're restructuring a campaign over a period of like 2 or 3 days or something, and the budget might kind of dip for like 2, 3, 4 days. But if the client has a standing budget that they haven't asked for a reduction, we should not have a whole month where we're $1,000 short on budget. This is really bad. That's a big problem with this media buyer. So this is why you need to read their report. It's really important to read the report because you're going to have insights like that where you see, oh shit, we're not doing what we're supposed to do with the client. We see their CPMs, cost per click, click-through rate, right? Cost per lead is generally like $12 front-end cost per lead. We want to understand if that's working for the client and if we can grow their ad spend based on that, right? Does the client tell us they're converting sales and they're happy with the leads? That sort of thing. Okay? So you'll see that in monthly analytics reporting. Then you're going to want to check on just their regular like creative testing reporting. We should see like some Loom videos in here. Okay? And screenshots. If you don't see the Loom videos in here, we're going to remind them again too. We'll just say at Santosh, please see the update to the SOP on task Loom reports and ensure you post them here. Okay, so we're just going to remind him because he hasn't been posting his Loom reports for his regular task work, which you need those. You need to look at those and watch those on a weekly basis. These are going to be 5-minute videos that the media buyer posts about this client's ad account. And that's where you need to focus on that. Okay. So we're going to go back to look at the rapid testing task. Media buyer rapid testing. Because there's a creative testing task and there's a rapid testing task where we should see Looms and we don't. Okay, so we're going to tell him again. And sometimes this is just a function, like he's been managing this account for a while. And we updated the SOP recently to do this type of reporting. So he's probably just not looking at the SOP on an ongoing basis. So we're going to say, please be sure to look over the SOPs on a regular basis for updates, as this task involves a task report with a Loom video that I do not see present. Do not skip this. Period. Okay, so we just want to make sure that you're guiding your media buyer to give you proper reporting, because watching a 5-minute Loom video from the media buyer will tell you much more than having a meeting with them or having to look at or read through a whole report. You'll read through their whole report maybe once a month, their analytics report. Aside from that, you're just on a weekly basis, you're just looking for their Loom video updates and watching them so you know like what they're doing and what's going on. Because you need to be proactive about client communication, because the client will ask you what's going on. There's no question about it. We know the client will ask you what's going on in the ad account, and you need to be prepared to answer that question. The way you're going to be prepared to answer that question is by watching the Loom videos from the media buyer and reading their monthly report, and keeping an eye on what's happening and communicating with that media buyer. Okay. Without those Loom videos, you will be in the dark. The client will ask you what's going on in the account, and you'll say, let me get back to you. And you're going to have to go message the media buyer, maybe email them. Then he's going to send you Loom videos. Then you're going to watch Loom videos. And the client, in the meantime, is going to say, hey, I haven't heard back from you 24 hours. What's going on in the account? Because now the client knows you don't know what's going on in the account. You're trying to figure it out. We want to avoid that whole situation. And I want you to be proactive in watching the Loom videos from the media buyer, knowing what's going on in the account, what we're trying to do. So when the client asks you, what's going on in my account, you can say, oh, X, Y, and Z is happening in your account. I already know. That's what's happening in the account. And they'll go, okay, thank you, because they just want information. A lot of times the client just wants an information update. So you need to be proactive about knowing what's going on in the media buying account. If you don't know, you're not doing your job as a CSR, right? And then you got to communicate to the media buyer and say, where are your Loom reports? Where's your written reports? I need to know. You need to know what's going on in the account because the client will ask you. All right, thanks.